Yep. So anyway, you find Ansem, who was actually under that black cloak the entire time, holding Riku's Keyblade and acting a lot like Riku, but it wasn't Riku, it was Ansem, in a way. But anyway, you go on, you free Riku at one point. I forget at which point, but you free him. Um, he becomes Riku once more. You get this awesome Omega combo with him. It's really cool. You explode things. Maleficent and Pete, you meet them and they like, all right, let's go. Why don't we're gonna help you now. You know what? Because we're not gonna be douchebags for the rest of this game. We're gonna go out in style. Oh, they fight shitloads of nobodies for you to give you some time. And my favorite line of the Kingdom Hearts and Tom 64 playthrough, the explosion to Kingdom Hearts with that matter gun and
oh shit!
yes, and that's why I love Tom 64 so much. Explosions, that Ansem the wise guy dies, and get ready, boys and girls, the final boss. Dun dun dun.
Oh boy.
This final boss is one long ass motherfucker.
Yeah, they kind of do that with final bosses these days.
Yeah, but especially if it's an RPG. Well, first off, you get to fight, guess who, boys and girls? Xemnas, the leader.
Yeah, I like the first, the one part of the boss fight where you're fighting, you know, where the tower is.
When you're going up, when he's up at the tower and you're alone and you have to fight him.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty neat.
That was a good one. I liked how the first boss, where you were trying to get to him at that point, you had to actually fight the city itself, which was really cool. Like all those reaction commands just ended up being you and Riku. Riku got lost and then he saves your ass for the next one. It's like jump on that like roller coaster router thing, and then you get to fight with Riku for the entire time, which is pretty badass. It's really cool. His first form is him using his like lightning blades out of his hands and like slashing at you, which is really cool. That's really cool. There's his second form. You go into this like I don't know what you call it, like this some battleship, and you have to destroy the turbines and something.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, you go. Riku gets you on this like motorcycle. You have to fight Xemnas in this like ultimate battle outfit that has like every weapon that each organization member used. And if you look at him, he's like sitting in this like throne chair, and they're all connected to him. Every single weapon of the organization is there present. And he doesn't use all of them, but he uses the ones that you fought before. He'll like shoot he'll shoot those arrows at you from Xavier. He summons like water clones. He even like brings out like shields of the cards from Luxius. I think that's damn it, I can't think of the names, but he brings out the cards. He uses the Zaldin staffs to like slash at you. It's pretty badass, quite honest. It's one of my favorite forms of it. It's actually my favorite form because you literally fight the entire organization as one. And then the final boss, his final form, he's like covered in white and he's like splattered in white, which was the comment of the screaming fangirls, and he's like, I am darkness. Kingdom Hearts has given me all the power of the world.
And get ready for a really nice boss fight.
Very nice. Fight with Riku, shitloads of reaction commands, one amazing light show, and then a final attack, which is godly in its own way. Destroy him, And you end up where?
In the, like, I believe it's the realm of darkness.
The stripper's asshole.
Yep, and you're at that, where it's the beach area.
Yeah, you see it at the beginning. It's like in a cutscene at the very beginning.
So, we end up there, and then, you know, after they're sitting there talking, blah, 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 and then a bottle comes up on shore. Riku picks it up, and, you know, he looks at it, and he's like, I think it's for you, Sora.
And so Sora's like, oh, really? I got mail? We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Oh my god, I'm gonna shoot you. Wonder who it's from.
Well, so Sora starts reading it, and then, you know, you see it's from Kairi, and then out of nowhere, light starts to shine, and then what?
CGI cutscene, motherfuckers. And
where they like fall into the ocean or something.
They're like, yeah, they're like in the ocean, and it's like, holy shit. And then they see Kairi at the beach, and it's like, hells yes. Sora's swimming out to her. He comes up, he stands up, and he's like, oh shit, Donald Goofy. They ram into him. Kairi and Sora are laughing, ha ha, and then Sora becomes Roxas, and Kairi becomes Anime, and they're like, holy shit. And my cosplay idea comes even brighter into life, and then they turn back to their normal selves, and it's all happy.
We're back. You're home.
Why don't you come into the bedroom? I got you a surprise. I'm gonna.
And then finally, Kingdom Hearts 2 is over.
The credits roll up, and then wait, we're still not done yet. Last CGI cutscene of the entire game. Riku, Sora, and Kairi are just sitting there at their little tree thing. I forget who finds it, but they bring this like note, and it has the seal of the king, and they're reading it, and then the logo of Kingdom Hearts 2. The end of that game.
Motherfuckers.
And that's
Thank
only
Christ.
The third game of the series. We still got three more to cover. Prepare for another couple more hours of this, people.
So, I'm finally gonna move on to the next page.
Finally. Alright, next game, which is one of my personally awesome favorites, because why wouldn't you love this game? Kingdom Hearts 365 Days Over 2. Holla.
Yep, and of course the game came out on Nintendo's new handheld at the time was the DS.
And it was actually how I first was introduced to the Kingdom Hearts franchise. That was actually the first game I actually played. Because I've always heard of Kingdom Hearts, and this one is really close to my heart, and I probably will talk myself winded out of this, so prepare for my voice. Lots of times. Basically, this game is telling the story of what happens between the point from Kingdom Hearts, from Kingdom Hearts 1, when Sora stabs himself, and he goes, kids, don't do this at home, and he kills himself. That at a precise moment, Roxas was born. And what was he? A nobody. And where did they go to? The organization.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of the process of it. I think you have to, like, sign a couple papers, collect your weapon, get the cloak. But once you get through all that sequence, that's where the game begins. You start off in this cutscene where, first off, it's the opening credits. It's like, Passion is playing. It's even more godlier than when you played Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right, and it gives like a description of every organization member or whatever.
It tells you their weapon, what element they control, and like kind of like tells you like a little snippet of like their personality, which you can kind of guess if you played the games before. So you understand all that part. You then after that you open up on the cutscene where they bring in Roxas and they say number 13, Roxas, and this logo comes to life. And this is the point where it's basically basically a side game from the original.
Like not like Chain of Memories. This one is a durable, playable game,
and it's pretty a good game actually. The command system for this one are panels, which thank God they didn't use the cards again. I would have hated that so much. These panels, you have a limited amount of panel slots when you first start off. As you progress through the game and level up, you can get more and more and more. You can use level panels, magic. You have a lot more variety of keyblades, and you kind of go back into fighting Heartless again. You fight. That's all you pretty much fight.
Yeah, because mostly this game is a mission-based game.
Yeah, for the first part
like
of it, you go through each day, mostly.
Yeah, and each day is like a new mission, like what we're going to do today. What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today?
I don't know, what do you want to do today?
Well, we're going to go kill him, and then have some ice cream later.
I like having ice cream later. Hey,
first murder, then ice cream.
That's the way of the organization.
So, but of course you play as Roxas.
And he is more badass than Sora will ever be in his entire lifetime. It sucks that he is still inside Sora to this day. But anyway, you fight through lots of missions. You hang out with Axel, and he's like, "You're a really cool kid. You know that? I love you." And
which to say this leads to a best friend relationship. Let's don't go too far.
They find like 7 days, a week later after Roxas comes into play, they find Xion, number 14, and she has no weapon yet. She is honestly, hands down, one of my favorite characters, and Roxas and Xion is one of my favorite pairings of the entire world when it comes to fanfiction.
Right, I do find her she was very interesting as a character.
In my opinion, she should have taken over for Naminé instead of Naminé being Kairi's nobody. Because I don't know why, but it makes so much more sense to me. It's like
it does, because I could see the Roxas and Sora comparisons, but when you look at Naminé and Kairi, I see like two different people. But then when I see Kairi and like Kingdom Hearts 1 Kairi and Xion, then I can just see just Xion just has black hair. That's it.
Well, first off, Sora has like dark blonde hair, and Roxas actually has legit blonde hair, so it's pretty even out. So it's okay to look different from your original self, but it makes more sense to me, to be quite honest. It makes so much more sense. I love Xion. First off, you go through the game. Roxas is just trying to figure out who he is. He has no memory of his past self, so he's trying to figure out who he is. He fights for the organization. You go through like literally every day. You fill in like it tells you a bit of the background of the story itself. Like you get to one point where Axel leaves, and you're sad because you have no friend now, and you're just eating ice cream alone after your long day of murder. And then you find Xion, and she's like, Roxas, let's be friends. We talk, and they talk, and then they go off together, and they become friends. Then you find out what happens at Castle Oblivion, and all the operatives that went out there are dead, and you're thinking, oh crap, not Axel, who am I gonna have ice cream with? so he goes off. So you're sad for a couple days, and then he pops out of nowhere. It's like, sup, dude? I've always been here, and you're happy. You get him and Xion all have ice cream together after your long days of murder. Xion gains the ability to use the Keyblade, but then loses it. You help her get it back through one of the most deadliest missions of the entire game. since I've played through the game like twice